share a few brief remarks with you before the Lieutenant Governor comes up to address you. But before I do that, I want to acknowledge the presence of the Millwrights Local 715, 32BJ, SEIU, CWA, USWA. And we also have present with us a number of commissioners from the Union County Board of Chosen Freeholders, Commissioner Mudad, our own Commissioner Williams. We have Commission Candidate James Baker, our Assemblyman from the 22nd Legislative District, Jim Kennedy, Assemblywoman Linda Carter, and I know that Senator Scutari may very well be here. We also have present Councilman Donald Augustine of Hillside. And I know that our council president will be giving some remarks and he will introduce members of the governing body. I want to thank all of you for coming out here today. This is a significant day for the city of Plainfield. Today we are here to stand in solidarity with others across the nation who have publicly taken a stand against racism, inequity, and inequality. So today we are here to dedicate this plaza as a lasting reminder that Black lives matter. Let me be very clear. Black lives have always mattered. Black lives have always been a vital part of the fabric of this country. But Black lives have always had to fight and fight hard. The fact that America has spawned a rallying cry of Black Lives Matter is an indictment of its failure to live up to the promise in the Declaration of Independence that all men and women are created equal. The systemic oppression of Black people has spawned a frustration so deep that it needed a voice, an expression to convey a deep cry for justice. We have seen Black men executed in public at the hands of deputized keepers of the law. We have seen them hunted and shot to death by armed white citizens, and their young sons and daughters have not been exempt. History has shown that Black lives seldom matter to those who built this system on the backs of enslaved Blacks and their descendants. Innocent Black lives have ended due to racism. Black activists have been killed for defending their people. Black communities have deteriorated and continue to decline due to systemic racism. To say Black Lives Matter acknowledges that in many ways, and for far too long, Black lives never mattered to those who built the system. Black Lives Matter, or Black Lives Matter, I should say, proclaims humanity, equality, and the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. All lives cannot matter until Black lives do. All lives cannot matter if groups of people are targeted based on the color of their skin, while others aren't. All lives cannot matter if some lives are marginalized. Black Lives Matter isn't a Black supremacy movement. It is a movement for equality, equity, fairness, and justice. We never said only Black lives matter. We never said Black lives matter more. We say they matter, period. The Black Lives Matter movement is more than a call to action against police brutality. It's a call for justice to stop the racial inequality that is still prevalent today in this, the greatest nation on the face of the earth. Racial disparities touch every facet of our lives, from the boardroom to the playground. Black Lives Matter speaks out against the systemic racism that caused the death of George Floyd, Ahmaud Arbery, Tony McDade, and Breonna Taylor, as well as the thousands of violent incidents that happen to black people that are not recorded, reported, or afforded the outrage they deserve. It needs to be repeated that we have a solid and respectful bond with our law enforcement body here in the city of Plainfield. Taking a stand to support Black Lives Matter is not to try to vilify our officers. That is not the intention, never has and never will be. Who I say are among the best, our officers here in the city of Plainfield. Yeah. However, we cannot and must not stop repeating this mantra until there is equity for black and brown people in this country. Black lives matter on the streets. Black lives matter in the workplace. Black lives matter in our neighborhoods and in our communities. Yes. So today we solemnly commemorate the tremendous sacrifices made by African Americans seeking to be treated as full citizens in these United States. No other group of people in this country has sacrificed more for so little. Unfortunately, over 150 years after the end of slavery, 100 years after Tulsa, 55 years after the passage of the Civil Rights Act, and 53 years after the assassination of Dr. Martin Luther King, and the countless number of lynchings and other injustices, black people in this country are still forced to assert their right to be full citizens. Today, in unity, we declare loud and clear to the state of New Jersey and across the country that Black lives matter. We are doing so by etching a permanent place in history through the naming of this space, the Black Lives Matter Plaza. We have to continue to say that Black Lives Matter because we still reside in a nation in which systemic racism is still a constant fixture of American life and adversely impacts the lives of black people. We as a nation must acknowledge the unjust system of racism and discrimination that black people across this nation still face, including young black boys and girls. So today, as we dedicate this plaza, we join our brothers and sisters across America, no matter what color, who have taken a stand for justice. So I call on all good men and women of all races, religions, cultures, sexual orientation, and political stripe to join me in the fight to make Black Lives Matter more than a movement, but a reality. I'm there in the end. So as mayor of this great city of Plainfield, I will advocate every single day to eliminate and to form any form of racism or unfair treatment against black people and any other group facing racism or injustice. We've seen all of the acts on television lately, how Asians are being targeted. That's wrong and should not happen in this, the greatest nation on the face of the earth. So we will fight against that as well. Let us all embrace the prophetic words of Dr. King, who stated passionately, Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. Thank you, and may God bless you.